lived in Kiev, in Ukraine. I'm a Russian citizen and I've worked as a volunteer in Ukraine, a volunteer organization named Help Ukraine, and this is an organization for helping unprotected citizens of Donbass and Lugansk. Mostly raised funds to help women and children or refugees whose houses were destroyed, to help them with food, money, medical support. When Putin came to power, I didn't like him, but I didn't realize the whole scale of his insanity. I used to participate in the protests when I was still in Russia, anti-Putin protests, but there were too few people there who actually opposed him. I talked with all of my friends, with all people I knew about that, and I didn't meet the support that I expected. It's two parts of the society. One part of the society, I'm afraid that they're the majority, but I hope it's not like that, who just heed to the Russian propaganda. They don't want to hear any other sides of the story. They believe all this trash that they see on TV, and they don't think, they don't do their own thinking. And there are other people who understand what's happening right now. They see that this is war and this mustn't happen. They're against the war. And I have friends there in Russia who are also living because they are not supporting this at all. I've considered Kiev my home. For the last few years I've lived there, I've worked there, and I had a house there. And it seems like a month has passed or something, but it's just a few days since the war started. I've been in my house when I heard the first bombing. I woke up and understood that it was war. First few nights we spent it in bomb shelters underground. On the third night, I think, there was an explosion in the building nearby on Lobanovskoye Street. I've heard this explosion, it was just terrible, and that's when I understood I have to flee for my life. I'm a Russian refugee fleeing from Kiev. So I don't know what my status is right now, because I'm not considering myself Russian, especially in these circumstances. And I can't stay in Ukraine because it's not safe there. And I've also met people in Ukraine on my way here who just saw my Russian passport and they got really hostile because they thought that I'm an enemy, but I'm not. I don't want this war. I'm against this war. I'm against Putin. I don't want that. So I just hope people would separate the government from common people who don't want to fight. My friends and I went to the train station, and we tried to catch one of these evacuation trains. There were crowds of people there, mostly women and children, and all trying to get into the train. But the place is limited, and there were crowds of people at the doors. And one time the guys on the train, they even, had to shoot to the air because there was a crowd of people trying to get on the train, and there was no space there already. No one could fit. But fortunately, when this train left, there was another train. So they're doing their best right now. So we went to Lvov and then to Uzhgorod. We moved from one train to another. I think it took 3 or 4 days to get to the Hungarian border. All we could think about was saving our lives. I was thinking about the lives of my friends. One of my friends, she was so shocked she couldn't speak from Kiev to the time when we got to the border. So worried. And when we finally crossed the border, when we were in Hungary, it was an unbelievable feeling. It was such a relief that we were finally safe and alive. And I'm very grateful to all Hungarian people who greeted us, who helped us. I didn't expect this much help. When we came to the train station in Budapest, many people came to us offering their help. And now one family invited us to their home, and we're staying with them now. And I was finally able to sleep for like 12 hours or something. I'm so grateful. I'm not sure what to do next, because all I've been thinking up until now is surviving. But when I came here, it's like the reality hit me, because I have no home, I have no money, my bank account is blocked, and I've also lost my business. I had IT business with advertising in Facebook and Google, and now it's just gone because Facebook stopped working with Russian bank cards, and Google blocked my AdMob account. So I don't know, these big corporations, they never think about common people. They have some sort of political agenda, and they don't care what happens to people because of their decisions. I'm not only a refugee now, I also have no money at all because my Ukrainian bank account was blocked. I opened this bank account using my Russian passport, and they saw that I'm Russian, and now they just blocked it. I can understand the reasoning when people do that, because they're afraid that this money would be used for war, but there are so many Russian people who live in Kiev, who live in Ukraine, who haven't visited Russia for years, and they are still suffering because of this, because their bank accounts were blocked, because people see enemies in them, and this is just so sad. When in Russia they know that, like, I used to help the Ukrainians, I think they will just kill me for that. When Putin came to power in the year 2000, Russian people chose to exchange their freedom for stability. And they gave away one human right after another, but they were safe for the time being, and they were satisfied. But slowly it got worse and worse. People got arrested for going out in the streets. People got arrested for just speaking their mind, for writing some message on social media. And this is how it ended up. It ended up in war and oppression. We can't allow this in the 21st century.